Game Time Live, TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We're here in Macomb, Illinois tonight for the final game of the regular season between the Macomb Bombers and the Havana Ducks. He's Tony Weston. I'm Caden Strenz. Tony, last week we were just here in Macomb, Illinois, when they were taking on Bureau Valley and took care of business 41-7 to punch their ticket to the playoffs, and here we are tonight facing the Ducks.
Absolutely, and a beautiful night for football once again. A little crisp fall, autumn feel in the air. Bombers, we got the sirens going off. Bombers are about ready to take the field right now. Started a little slow last week. Bureau Valley, number 22, as we mentioned often throughout the broadcast, was a load. Just an absolute football player. Had parent-teacher conferences this week. Whenever there's a disruption to the routine, you always get a little bit worried. But for me, it was great. Today I had a half a day where I was able to take my little girl over to Fun City and play some games and had some ice cream and whatnot, and raced back here to do a broadcast. So we're recharged, refreshed, ready to rock and roll. Looking to see Havana tonight enters Macomb Bomber Stadium as an underdog and with no tomorrow. They're a 2-6 team. There is no next week. So their Super Bowl, their state championship is to play spoiler tonight. Now, I think that obviously Macomb's already punched their ticket, but what hangs in the balance is where does Macomb play next week?
Yeah.
I think that there was an assumption that with 2 losses, Macomb would be on the road. But as you look at the playoff outlook, you're seeing an opportunity where we could be right back here in this box again next week. Yeah. I don't want to speculate on who could be here joining us. And it may not fall that way. The pairing show is tomorrow night, and we'll see where the chips fall. But my point is there is something for the Bombers to be playing for. Absolute opportunity to go out there. And, of course, you want to go into a football game with fresh momentum, into the playoffs with fresh momentum. So you want to play well tonight. You want to play balanced. You want to establish your run game. You want to hit crisp throws, mid-level, short throws, now routes, and hit the deep ball. Just make sure that every part of your game is clicking. And really, with all due respect, when there's an opponent that maybe you should be able to handle, then you handle them. And you handle your business and you move forward and establish yourself as the playoff contender that you are. And right now, the Macomb Bombers have taken the field. We are about to kick off and get this football game underway.
There you go. The Bombers will kick it off here tonight. The Ducks will receive this first half. And as you said, hosting a playoff game, just so much different than going on the road. The atmosphere, the vibes, it's just way different when you're here compared to what could be who knows how far out.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if we look at the last 3 playoff games we've been involved in, obviously one of them, QND, was here. But in Coach Worrell's first year, traveled to Murfreesboro. Quite a long ways. Wow. And then after beating QND, Murfreesboro traveled here in a wild football game that ended up not going our way, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a football game for sure.
And we'll see this return from about the 25, not go very far, and wherever you guys are watching tonight, enjoy the game as the Ducks will take the field for the first time tonight.
Where you're watching, go ahead and jump in the chat and let us know. Give us a little roll call. Let us know where you're watching from.
We had a lot of fun interacting with some people late last week in the game, some fellow friends.
Oh, man, we got some merch flying out. It looks like some Orange Crush T-shirts into the crowd.
Open your window a little bit more. Maybe we'll be able to get one.
We got the screen. I was thinking about I might rip that out. I could always go for a nice Orange Crush T-shirt.
1st and 10 for the Ducks from about the 25-yard line.
They got stacked twins. Little motion. This is going to be a run. A little power off to the edge, and that fools nobody.
Yeah, not much there. Maybe a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down.
And you know what's helpful? Big number 77, Alex Brown, has returned to the lineup tonight. A couple of weeks ago, Alex suffered an injury, was out the rest of that game, was out next week, and he is just such a huge part, no pun intended, of our football football team. Excuse me.
2nd down and 10. Going to keep it, and losing some yards there, maybe half a yard or one. And it's already 3rd and long for Havana.
Talon Quisenberry gets through and trails that play, actually. And we talk about this week after week. What happens? You do your responsibility. You don't try and do too much, and you stop the momentum. You stop the running back's feet. That allows Talon Quisenberry, who's scraping the heel line, does his job perfectly, makes a big TFL. Gets Havana behind the chains for a long 3rd down.
3rd and 12 coming up. Caden Olson behind center. Olson going to roll out to the left, going to fire it. It's complete.
No, incomplete.
Incomplete,
yep,
sorry.
Bounced off his hands and went out. So that was interesting. So it wasn't actually a bad pass because he rolls out to his left, and when he sees he has a receiver in the flat, he has to flip his hips completely around, bring his shoulder back to try and come through. And he's able to deliver the football, but all that movement makes it a little late, and it sails just a touch.
So it's a 3 and out for the Ducks. They'll punt away here on 4th and 12 from their own 23. Punt's going to go back towards about the 45 or so. They're going to let it roll, and it will be picked up at about the 48-yard line. So the Bombers with decent field positioning as they take the field tonight. Holthouse behind center. We saw around 270 yards last week. Kylan McMillan, his most intended target, 7 receptions, 123 yards last Friday against Bureau Valley. We'll see what this Bombers offense comes out with right away here on this first drive, 1st and 10. And that's McMillan rolling out to the right. I want to say that's caught. And he's off and running to the races. Gets some separation and brought down at the 25. So a gain of 27 on that one. And it's 1st and 10.
Just a little. So Kylan McMillan goes in orbit motion, comes behind the quarterback. Given that it's not a jet look, he goes behind the quarterback, not in front. But in what you would think is a run, maybe a pitch, snaps the ball, and all they're doing is they're getting it to the football in his hands with his feet already moving.
Holthouse throws complete to the house for 6.
Drew Watson on the other end of that one. That's a 2-play drive. You got to love that. And to go ahead and complete that thought, so he had the little swing route, just got the ball into his hands with his feet already moving, and when Kylan McMillan's got a head of steam, he's a quick little guy. And then on that one, Drew Watson, there's nothing fancy. He just blew by the cornerback, and Braden Holthouse put it on him.
Holthouse to McMillan for 27, and then Holthouse to Watson for 25 and 6. See the extra point here. Snap, hold, kick on the way, and it is good. So the Bombers, 2 plays in on their offensive drive, are ahead 7-0. We'll take a quick timeout here on TSSR Game Time Live.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back with you here at TSSR Game Time Live. Bombers are ahead 7-0. Drew Watson with the receiving touchdown. He was able to pick up one last week as well against Bureau Valley. And they'll kick things off here. After forcing a 3-and-out on defense, their offense lasting just 2 plays, going 52 yards to go in front 7-0, all in the air.
Yeah, I would say that this football game could not have started any better for the Bombers, and obviously a long way to go. But 3 plays in a row, the Bombers, TFL, and an incomplete pass, and then they get the ball and have a 2-play scoring drive.
Rolls back inside the 20, and looks like he's going to be brought down at around the 18-yard line. So some tough field positioning for Havana as that took a Bomber bounce. And Havana was unable to get much going with that. So just under 10 minutes to go, 9:59 And the Ducks will take the field for the second time here. So it'll be the 17-yard line to start this drive for the Ducks. First and 10. Olsen play action, throws short out to the right. It's complete. Brought down to about the 19-yard line. A gain of about 2 there. Caught from Anthony Foster.
Brought down by Drew Watson, who came down, read that perfectly, and came full speed like a shot. Low, eyes through the thighs, and a perfect tackle to make sure that play went nowhere. About a gain of 1 on that play.
Second and 9. Looks like an empty backfield. Quick pressure pass. Looks to be complete.
Oh, they gave it to him.
Yeah.
I thought he used the ground to help catch that ball, but amazing throw by the quarterback with pressure directly in his face. Just chucks that one out there, and the receiver kind of lunged out and made a sprawling effort and hauled in the pass.
Looks like third and really short
Third
here.
inches, yeah.
See what the Ducks do. Olsen might keep it. They'll hand it off. And I'm not sure if he got it.
He got a loss on that one.
Yeah,
He
I don't
lost a
think he
couple.
got that there. So down at about the 24, maybe the 25. It's fourth down. See if the Ducks want to stay out here on fourth and short from their own territory. Looks like they are just shy of the 25-yard line. They'll need to get to the 27 to pick up the first. 4th and 2. Early on in this one, the Ducks going for it.
So they're going diamond on the far side, and those guys are not eligible. So you got linemen over on the far side of the field.
I think.
And false start.
Yeah, false start's going to move them back, it
so
looks
that'll
like.
bring out the punt unit.
Maybe they were trying a hard count, but it looks like the Ducks just straight up jumped. So from the 25 to the 20, 4th and 7. And I am wondering here if they, looks like they're going for it.
They're still going
yeah,
for it.
4th and 7 from their own 20 early on here. And we saw Bureau Valley punt on some 4th and manageables, and they went
very
with the
good.
punt.
You know
Clever
what?
move.
Yep, nice.
And there was no bomber back there to return it. So they'll start from about the 46-yard line. Very similar, almost identical to where they started their first drive here. We'll give you some live reads as McDonough District Hospital athletic trainers and the MDH Rehabilitation Center with locations in Bushnell and Macomb provide expert help to all area student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring. 1st and 10 for Macomb. From the 45. It'll be a handoff. Breaks a tackle to about the 49, just past the 50, second down.
Plus 49. One thing we didn't mention, we have mentioned Big Alex Brown is back on both sides of the football. That's massive for the lines. Nolan Hogue was away last week and is back here tonight, number 20, and such a big impact on the defensive side of the football. And then we saw him huge touchdown grab a couple of weeks ago. So, getting back to full strength here right before the playoffs is massive.
We'll see another handoff here down at about the 46. We've got a 3rd and 1 coming up here. So the Bombers' first 3rd down of the night. This is considered their longest drive of the night as well. 2 plays in that first one. Running on the first pair. They'll hand it off to the fullback. He's got enough to move the chains for the first down at about the 44.
Yeah, Noah Applogan, the up back, gets that ball. That's quick snap, just designed to just blast through the line. It's a timing run and goes ahead and picks up about 3, picks up the first down. What I really loved is the sophomore, Big Charlie Bodiford, drove his guy about 12 yards down the field and just showed excellent footwork. And there's the freeze call.
Encroachment here. Offsides, encroachment, same thing. Basically.
Yeah, the Tanner Horrell special right there.
We'll see what they rule it. Yep. They'll give it to the defense. That'll move him to the 38. So 1st and 5 for the Bombers now. 4th play of this drive. Holthouse, quick pass is complete for a decent gain there inside the 30. That was McMillan again with his 2nd reception of the night.
Yep, those quick routes, just get the ball out in the hands of your playmaker and see what happens. Able to make that 1st down and move the chains. So we got trips to the near side, which is the field.
Will be a handoff. Breaks some tackles inside the 20 and near the 15. A decent gain there from Conley.
Now, Caden, let's keep our eye on the boundary outside linebacker because we've got trips out here in nearly a man situation. They're playing zone, but it's 3-on-3. The numbers are even. But on the backside, you've got a corner over the wide receiver, but you've got an outside linebacker. He's look and run, but does he bail out? So are they going to end up bracketing that boundary receiver, which tends to normally be Kylan McMillan?
Yeah, we shall see, but right now I believe we have a false start on Macomb as they're backing things up here.
Yep.
1st and 15. Same formation on this left side here. They're at the 21. 6 minutes to go in this 1st quarter. Bombers 7, Ducks nothing.
Oh, boy.
Oh, fumble. Holthouse looks like he fell on it, I want to say. At least he was very quick to falling on it. Looks like the Bombers do recover.
Yeah, he definitely gets that ball back, but I think that's miscommunication right there. It did not look like Malachi Conley had any intent to run the football. That's Jerron Petty, actually. It looked like he was going straight into block mode, and the ball goes off of his hip. There's a screen set up. Excellent blocking by the wide receivers. How about this?
Inside the 10, down to the 9. It's 1st and goal.
Big Alex Brown pulls, gets out there. For a bigger guy, he's got really good feet. I think he learned that in the wrestling room. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's rumors. But I got to tell you, I'm impressed with Kyler Norton and with Jack Beal leading the charge there, getting in some gritty blocking.
They did roll him short of the 1st down, so 3rd and about a yard.
Oh, no, that's 3rd and about 4.
Or 4, yeah. Just seeing that one there, yeah. 3rd and 4.
Oh, boy.
Holthouse keeps it, runs to the outside.
Gets it.
And down at about the 5.
Inside the 5, yeah.
And that'll be a 1st down for Macomb. 1st and goal coming up, their 2nd 3rd down conversion of this drive.
I think that one came from upstairs. Because that's, you call that draw on 4th down. Usually that's going to be a lower distance. But in this case, I think they saw something where somebody was crashing in, and they go ahead and went off tackle, and he had enough room to pick up that 1st down.
1st and goal from the 4. Holthouse hands it off. Not much there. Let's see where they put him. Might have gotten back to the line, maybe losing half a yard depending on forward progress. See Conley come out here for Macomb on the 2nd down. So they mark him down at the 6 and a loss of 2. Conley's in the backfield with Holthouse.
Oh, no.
And I think we have some movement from the offense here. And that'll move him back some more. So what was from the 6-yard line now backing up to the 11, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and we've talked about this. This is week 9, and that's, you never want this to happen because, again, there is no call on the field.
Yeah.
It's a freeze call. But in addition to that, this is week 9.
Yeah.
So those are the mistakes that you don't want to see, especially out of your veteran players.
Holthouse rolls to the right, fires towards the end zone.
I think he caught that football.
And
Touchdown!
it is complete for a Bomber touchdown. What a catch. And the Bombers go up 2 scores.
What a throw. What a catch. Braden Holdhouse rolls to his right. Or is that Drew? Which one caught it? I think Kylan McMillan gets behind the linebacker, but the linebacker had great coverage. Great coverage. He's in his pocket. But Kylan McMillan throws it just over the top where only his guy can make the play. He goes up high, gets it, brings it down. Oh, it was beautiful.
So the Bombers are ahead 13-0. We'll see an extra point attempt here. Snap, hold, kick on the way, and good. So
always love a performance of Cats.
There you go. 3:28 left in this first quarter. Bombers 14, Ducks nothing. We'll take a quick break. Back with you in just a moment.
I chose MDH. We moved here, and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC, have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
14-0 Macomb here in this first quarter. Biggie Cheese watching from Mexico tonight. I want to thank everyone tuning in tonight here. Chris Donardi cheering on the Bombers from Pontiac. Wishing the best for our nephew, Coach Horrell. We thank you to everyone who has tuned in so far tonight. As it's all Bombers so far, 14-0 in this first quarter. We've got 3:28 left. And the Bombers will kick it away. It'll be returned from the 24. Scrambling out to the outside. It's got some blocks. Moving back towards the 50 and out of bounds, just shy of the 50. And the Ducks with a solid return there and some solid field positioning to start things off for their third drive tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, you get a 2-touchdown lead. You don't really want to give any hope. You really want to take away hope. So,
Yeah, flag. This looks like the Ducks are moving back.
Yeah, so they may have taken it away themselves.
Yeah, probably a hold or a block in the back. Possibly here.
Has all the ear markings, Caden.
As they're already inside their 25
Yeah, he
here.
just gave the indication, but I didn't catch.
Yeah. So the 23. So that's a huge penalty for the Ducks there. I mean, they had a really great return there to pass the 45 inside the 50, but now cutting that in half. 1st and 10 from the 23. Ducks will start their third drive. This has been about the average starting position here for the Ducks tonight. Meanwhile, Macomb and both their drives have started just shy of the 50. Well, that play doesn't go very far. 2nd and long.
Yeah, pick up about a yard. They've got some interesting formations. They've had the stacked twins. It's trips, but you've got stacked twins with a slot. This one, they have that wing that they invert, that they have faced into the line that has to completely turn his body in order to get involved. Now they've got the bunch set with a nub on the far side. That's a tight end on the far side of the formation.
2nd and 9. Rolling out. Is going to fire it deep. Separation, but incomplete there. The intended target looking to be Landon Oatman.
Well, and the quarterback threw it beyond him, which was smart because Jack Beal was in his pocket all the way down the field, and Kylan McMillan was coming over the top. So that was really the only place that football could have gone and not gone into the arms of an orange jersey.
So it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 for the Ducks. They look to get some momentum going on this offensive end. Have not had much so far in this first quarter. We've got 3 on the right side. Olsen fires deep over the middle. Incomplete,
Knocked
broken
away.
up. Nice defense there.
That you can put that on a video. So what Kyler Norton does is runs with the receiver. Does not look back. And we've actually talked about Kyler Norton doing this earlier in the season, where he looks back into the play, which slows his feet down. He stays right with the receiver and lets the ball hit his hands and knocks it away. It was excellent defense.
So it's the third 3-and-out tonight for Havana on all 3 drives. A little bit of a low snap there, but they're able to get the punt away, returning it from about the 47 and brought down quickly at the 48. So the Bombers will start for the 3rd time tonight just inside the 50-yard line. Got another live read for you here, located at 210 South Lafayette Street in Macomb, Illinois. We're serving soups, salads, sandwiches, homemade desserts, Blue Bunny ice cream, and a full-service coffee bar. Breakfast served all day, and free Wi-Fi. Visit them online at www.olddairyMacomb.com. You can call them at 309-837-6700 for your takeout. Bombers' 3rd drive of the night here.
Uh-oh.
And double whistles here.
So their starting field position would have been at the minus 49, so right in line with where it's been, but just had an illegal substitution, so that's going to push them back 5. So it's going to be about the 44.
3rd penalty tonight from the Bombers. Pair of false starts and the illegal substitution there. 1st and 15 from the 44. Bombers offense has been cruising so far, though. In the air for a lot of it. Holthouse is going to fire deep. The passing game's been working. He's wide open and complete. Breaks a man. Goes towards the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Bombers are ahead 20-0 in this 1st quarter. Wow.
I got to tell you, so Braden, so they have a little action on the play, keep the linebackers' feet steady, rolls out, Braden rolls out, lets it go down the field, and Drew Watson has a defender with him. He's got the defender beat, but he catches the ball and then just puts on the brakes and lets the defender go by and then beats him to the end zone. That was a lot of fun to watch.
20-0 snap, hold, kick, and good. The Bombers are having a lot of fun out here tonight so far. We still have just over 2 minutes to go in this 1st quarter, and it's all Bombers, 21-0. We're back with you here in 30 seconds.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology.
Bombers 21, Ducks nothing, 2:18 to go in this 1st quarter. Watson multi-touchdown night, and we're not even through the 1st. Been a great night for him so far, and this entire Bombers team in retrospect.
Yeah, we'd already said that this couldn't have started much better for the Bombers, and through 3 drives, I don't think you can change that assertion. I mean, pretty much every lever that they've pulled has worked to this point.
So the Bombers will kick away here. Ducks have started from inside the 30 on all drives, and we have a stoppage of play here. I did hear multiple whistles before the kickoff. And
it looks like offsides. It looks like somebody was beyond the 40 when the ball was struck.
So they'll kick it off.
I think we've seen more flags here tonight than we saw all last week.
It definitely feels that way, and it's a lot of small penalties, it feels like tonight. The false starts, the offsides, the illegal substitutions, nothing too big. The biggest penalty tonight coming from the Ducks on that return.
Oh, yeah, that was huge. And I'll say this, I'm not disputing the calls in any way. They're penalties. I mean, it is what it is. But
so now they'll kick it away. Ducks looking for their best field positioning of the night, returning it from the 27. And not a very long return again, brought down at the 33.
Should
looks
be about
like a
the 32, 33.
Yeah, looks like a 5-6 yard return, though. This will be the best field positioning of the night for the Ducks. Conley with the tackle there. So the Ducks start at 1st and 10. Officials mark it down at the 33.
I think that this performance of Katz has been very impressive. I tell you, he's really gotten into groove where he is getting that ball high in the air and getting it in between the 20 and 30 with almost no ability to return it because it's allowing our coverage team to get there.
Fires out to the right. It's complete to about the 44-yard line.
And a first down. I think that's the biggest play for Havana tonight.
Yeah, Olson to Oatman. That is their first down of the night. Be at about the 45-yard line. Give them 12 there.
Had a little action off the snap that holds the feet of the linebackers, slows the rush, gives Olson opportunity to set his feet and make a delivery on time.
Empty backfield here for Olson. But now motioning and handing it off to the outside. He's got some free grass here, and he's running to the outside and brought down inside the 30. That handing off to Anthony Foster. Huge play there, the biggest play of the night for the Ducks, and the plays get bigger and bigger as this drive has progressed.
Yeah, it's a good saving tackle there. I'm just watching, trying to see who that was. That might have been Daniel Taylor out there to save a touchdown. As was that Oatman on that rush?
Oh, on that rush, it was 25 Foster.
Oh, Foster, yeah, he had a head of steam.
So
now they counter off that.
And the Bombers are able to stuff it pretty good there. Looks like a couple yards.
I like the play call to go underneath, but what happens is they move the linebackers with 25, who just had the big play, but the counter goes in the same direction of the motion. So if they counter that back against the grain, the linebackers are moving this way, and you might find a little lane.
So 2nd down and 7. That was a gain of 3. Olson looks to throw towards the left. It's complete. Or incomplete, excuse me.
Oh, we got a hold on Havana here.
See if they accept this one here, as that'll move them back. Otherwise, a 3rd and 7 brewing here.
Yeah, I'd say they'd probably go with the
Yeah.
10-yard penalty from the spot.
So that was from about the 29.
No, I
Or
think
the flag was thrown at, yeah. So they'll be moving back to the 35. So 2nd and 17.
Mm-hmm. Now you look for a big play out of one of those D linemen, outside linebackers, get in the backfield, be disruptive. We got an up-the-middle blitz pressure. He's chasing the quarterback.
Yeah, Olson's got to run for dear life. He fires out of bounds, incomplete. Good pressure there.
Drake May had a beat on him, dove, and had him wrapped up right as he threw it away. And Olson was just, that's Olson, right? Yeah, Olson was just trying to get beyond that tackle box so that he could go ahead and get rid of it, just sprinting to get beyond that tackle box.
So now the Ducks, after cruising, had a holding penalty to move them back. 3rd and 17 from the 35, just under a minute to go in this first quarter. Olson's going to roll out to the left. Quick pressure again. It's got a throw.
Dangerous throw.
Yeah, incomplete. So 4th and long coming here. Olson took a hit there.
And this is interesting here because you're at the plus 35. And I understand and they call timeout. Because it's such an interesting situation.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a lot of 4th and 17 plays in your playbook.
Yeah.
However, what does that punt net you unless you can
Get him inside
pin the Bombers,
10,
inside the 10. But if there is a touchback, then you've gained 15 yards. And this Bombers offense has proven that it can move the ball in chunks.
And the blink of an eye, the Bombers can move it from one side to another. 4th and 17 as both teams regroup here for the timeout called by Havana. The late stages of this first quarter. It's a beautiful Friday evening as well. It's been a beautiful month weather-wise. It's just been dry, except for this morning. It rained a little bit this morning.
Yeah, it's rained like 3 of the last 4 days. And I'll tell you what, Monday, meteorologist on my TV news told me there is 0% chance of rain. And my wife had told me, I think there could be rain. You got to take the cushions in off the deck. And I'm like, nah, he's 0% chance. So they get rained on, and then the next day, I don't know, we're going to be fine. So 2 days in a row, I got my deck furniture rained on. I finally went ahead and put it all away, so we were good today.
Yeah, solid soaking last night. 4th and 17.
I had it before that.
Yeah, you had it before that.
Yes.
Olsen, some pressure, going to throw. And
oh, my goodness. And you know what? That was off the hands of the receiver. That's a touchdown if hauls that in.
Looks like that was Oatman who was the intended target and had the possession before losing control.
You see some orange jerseys getting together and talking about that because somebody lost a receiver there.
Turnover on downs for the Ducks. The Bombers will start from their own 35. 1st and 10, 48 seconds to go in this quarter. Bombers have lasted very quickly on the field. And here from the 35. Considered their worst field positioning of the night, but you haven't really noticed with how quickly they've moved down the field. So 1st and 10, Holthouse looks to hand it off up the middle, brought down at the 39. And able to get up, so 2nd down. Might have one more play here in this quarter. Bombers 21, Ducks nothing. Bombers look to improve to 7-2 and see what holds for them next week. Handoff up the middle, moving towards the left, brought down at the 44. That should be the final play of this first quarter. 3rd down coming up. Clock will wind down, and the Bombers look to just run this quarter out. So at the end of 1, it's the Bombers 21, the Ducks nothing. We'll take a break. We'll be back with you here in just a moment on TSSR Game Time Live.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior life.
I see acute injuries on the field.
Start of the second quarter, it's the Bombers 21 and the Ducks nothing. It's Tony Weston. I'm Caden Strenz.
Yeah, I mean, not to belabor a point, but you really can't anticipate a first quarter of football going any better than that did for the Bombers. 3 and outs and then a couple stoppages, and they've scored on every possession, and they're approaching midfield right here with a 3rd and short.
3rd and 1.
Oh, off the fingertips.
So it's 4th and 1 from the 44. See if the Bombers want to go for it here on this 4th and short.
Man, that was similar to kind of an old school tight end dump, except for the Bombers very rarely use traditional tight end positioning. So it was more of a slot dump, but just right off the fingertips.
So 4th and 1 from their own 44. Bombers look to go for it here and convert. And I see a flag down on the field.
That must be on us.
Yep,
yeah,
they
nobody
will
jumped.
Call it. They'll call a false start, so 4th and 6 coming up here. We've seen a lot of those tonight, it feels like, at least compared to last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it looks like the punting unit come out here 4th and 6 from their own 33 with 11:54 to go.
Tanner Horrell is stalking that sideline. He is not happy right now. Understandably. I mean, we talked about it earlier. You're seeing most of what you want to see, but you want to see a clean game, especially out of veteran players. That ball just about got blocked. And that takes a Ducks bounce. There you go. You got to go grab it.
And about the 33-yard line or so, the Ducks will start this possession after this short break.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Back with you here, Bombers starting this drive, Ducks starting this drive off with a run towards the outside. Give him a few yards there. It'll be 2nd down. So the Ducks last time out, they were able to drive down the field, but a holding penalty kind of set them back. It turned into a 3rd and 17.
4th and 17.
And then a 4th and 17,
yeah.
And then that was the end of the drive. So a gain of 9, 2nd and 1 for the Ducks.
And that 4th and 19 just about had a prayer answered. It was thrown. Oh, a broken through tackles and getting up past the 50. What you do not want to see is a playoff-bound team come out, score 3 touchdowns, and then start to coast.
Yeah.
And we're seeing mistakes. We're seeing a couple of missed tackles here. And I can guarantee you I don't want to be in the field house at halftime.
Yeah.
If there are people I know will take care of this, it's Tanner Horrell, Dave Wilson, Luke Ladd, Paul Zarillo, Coach Payne. I mean, this whole staff, they're on top of this. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, Olsen brought down at the 40-yard line there. And, I mean, last week of the season, obviously you already give yourself a ticket to the playoffs, but you obviously want to clean these things up.
Yeah.
As next week, it's a do or die, obviously.
False start on Havana. They haven't even gotten set yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that you can call that. I don't think if the line's gotten set, you can call a false start. Because that's how you run shift plays.
Yeah.
That's how
Strange.
you put a tight end and a wing on one side. You don't set. Quarterback makes a signal. They shift to the other side of the formation.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
1st and 15 from the 44. 2nd and 7. My apologies there. And
that snap rolls out of the center's hand. I think he caught it on the turf, and it rolled across the ground. But fortunately for Havana, it rolls right into the running back's hands, and he's able to get that back to the line, maybe even pull a yard out of that.
Back to the 44, so 3rd and 7 for the Ducks. Look to get something going here as they trail 21-0 here in the 2nd quarter. Olsen gonna go with that
little swing pass.
Little swing towards the left and brought down at about the 34.
Picks up a 1st down.
That is enough to move those chains. 1st down for Havana.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now here in the Macomb Bomber booth, we are actually joined by an administrator from Havana, and that is, hold on here.
Rolling out to the right.
So what? You know what? Can you give us just a second? Go ahead. Randy Cowell from Havana is joining us right now. And I got to tell you out there in the listening audience, she absolutely loves it when I go ahead and throw her on the air. Randy was at Beardstown when I was there teaching and coaching, and she's now superintendent at Havana. Is that
I am not superintendent.
Police
Tony
chief?
Weston.
Police chief.
Oh, well, that's closer.
Fire chief.
Yes, that's closer. that's about right.
But has come here to Macomb and taken in the game, is up joining us in the booth. And I tell you what, we at the start of the game we said, this is a dangerous game for Macomb, as they've already punched their ticket into the playoffs. Kind of a gap game in between, but Havana is a much improved team. They've had really close battles against really good football teams. Went winless last year, picked up a couple of wins, so they figured out how to close games. And this is a trap game. This is, they have no tomorrow, and they've got very solid athletes, as we're seeing tonight.
Played really, really well against Rushville.
And there's the swing pass again. This time the linebackers come out, but he misses the tackle. Oh, that was a safety, actually. It was Drew Watson coming down. Sorry, go ahead, Randy.
Nope.
So, fourth down again for Havana. Looking at about 4th and 4, 4th and a long 3. And they go with the bunch formation to the field, tight end to the short side. And they just pulled the Bombers off. So, again, mistakes after mistakes after mistakes.
And we're playing pretty clean tonight. That's been a problem for us.
Yeah, just the one penalty on that huge kickoff return that really set Havana back a little bit. But other than that, pretty clean. But Macomb is lots of penalties tonight. And it all starts after, you get that 3-touchdown lead, and all of a sudden the Macomb is starting to play a little bit sloppy. And I mentioned to Caden earlier, if I know one thing, I know that this particular coaching staff with Tanner Horrell and Dave Wilson, Luke Ladd, and so forth and so on, I don't want to be in that field house at halftime, because they're going to go ahead and take care of that.
I guess I didn't realize Ladd was down there.
Yeah, absolutely. In the black and orange right there.
Yep, you're right. I would not want to be in that field house.
No. So, those coaches are going to take care of some issues and get their team right before heading into week 10. But so, Randy, how's your school year going so far?
Actually, pretty well. This is it. This is the final.
This is the sunset?
The final countdown is on.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Mine, too, but it's, probably 10, 11 years in the future.
It just makes everything just a little bit sweeter.
Yeah. Well, it looks like there's a penalty on Havana.
All right, I'm handing the mic back.
All right. So Caden's over there.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 22 as Havana with the possession here. I'll hand it off. Rolling out to the right. Throws and nearly picked off. Horrell wants it to be a pick. Looks like it's incomplete.
Yeah, he didn't get his feet down. Yeah. Just an acrobatic catch, but just couldn't get those toes on. That ball was thrown out of bounds. He did everything he could.
So 2nd down and 15 for Havana.
Yeah, so Abigail and I go over to Fun City and played games and won some 10-cent
Ducks in their best field positioning of the night.
Got some ice cream afterwards. And then
from their own, from Macomb's 27.
7.
Shotgun, Olsen, quick pass to the right, complete. Able to break a tackle, get by 1, and maybe nearly back to the line of scrimmage. We do have a flag. We have a flag after the play was over. I believe the flag was thrown after the play.
Yeah, that's got all the earmarkings of either late hit or personal foul, and that goes against the Bomber. I did not see he's going to step out here and make a call. Either a late hit or a personal foul of some type.
So it was 3rd and 15 coming up. They're still talking it over here. They're going to move forward. Just past the 20. And Now past the 15.
So
the 14.
It'd still be about 3rd and 2. Does that seem right?
That does seem right. They're at the 14, yeah.
Well, they
Would
got
be 2
2nd and
yards.
2, but that seemed like it was a
So
post-snap
maybe-
penalty.
Yeah, they're going to give it second and 2 is what they're going to give it. They'll hand it off.
Another penalty on the ground.
I think he was short of the line, but as you said, a penalty is down. As that was handed off to Green. And let's see what they want to signal here on this penalty. Back-to-back plays. With some laundry down on the field, and once again, it's against Macomb. So that will be a first down. They're going to give that a face mask on that call.
And Coach Horrell just calls timeout, an excellent timeout. He's out there trying to pull his team together because there's a certain point to where a few flags go, a few missed tackles, and now all of a sudden everything's tightening up.
Yeah,
and so
definitely racking up.
Yeah, it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where, nobody wants to make the mistake, which puts you on edge, gives you some anxiety, and it makes you make a mistake. So really got to slow things down, kind of get the air back in the lungs and clear the head and get back to work.
Give you some live reads here as Macomb's original local sports bar is Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcast at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. I think I'll be going there for lunch next Tuesday.
Yeah?
I believe. Yeah, I think that's the plan, and I think it's with Dwayne.
Oh.
I think I've got some lunch with Dwayne next week. We've got one of our friends, one of my buddies is leaving Western Illinois for a new job. Congratulations to him, Joey Elenick. If you're watching tonight, congrats to you.
Hopefully that'll be on Dwayne.
Hopefully, yeah. It is first and goal here.
Pressure through the middle of the formation, although that's by design, that's a screen, but the pressure came so quick, coming in hot, that quarterback Olson just goes ahead and throws it at the feet of the intended target, the running back, who also had a crowd of orange jerseys surrounding him.
Second and goal from the 9, and going back to Dwayne, I mean, he's a very nice guy.
Absolutely, very generous.
He'll definitely pay for that, for Joey's lunch at least, I would say. And towards the outside. Let's see where they mark him down. Looks like inside the 5 towards the 3. Green will be brought down. They'll mark him at the 4. So third and goal coming up here. It's a big third down for the Ducks, trying to get on the board for the first time tonight. It was Green on that handoff again. See what Havana does here. Definitely 4-down territory, it feels like, with this score. And we've got another flag, false start on the offense, so that moves them back to the 9.
Yeah, this is. I don't know that I've seen this where such a clean game for a quarter plus, and then all of a sudden, just these penalties are just coming in droves, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I want to say that's the 4th penalty in the last 2.5 minutes here of this drive.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I think there were 3 penalties in a row, 3 plays in a row that had stoppages.
So, third and goal for Havana. Back from the 9, though. Now, still 4-down territory, it feels like here. Especially chasing 21. Olson's going to keep it back towards where they originally were. Down at the 5, it's 4th and goal. So not a bad play there on third and goal, trying to set yourself up for a 4th and manageable. You kind of get that here, 4th and 5.
Yeah, you definitely, it's obviously 4-down territory unless they have a field goal kicker, which I'm not aware of, but down 21, maybe you're thinking I need to punch this in.
Yeah.
So it's obviously 2-down territory. You go ahead and get half of it back and open your playbook back up.
Going back to that. At the 5, I mean, they just had that false start. And timeout's going to be called by Havana. feels like the penalties, and it's obvious when you look at the score and how the game has gone tonight, the penalties that have happened have definitely hurt Havana. And the penalties they've had have been bigger as well. The holding on that kick return that would have had them at the middle of the field to start one of their drives earlier tonight. This false start most recently here on this 3rd and goal, though earlier in the drive we saw back-to-back penalties from Macomb on personal fouls as well as face masks. I mean, it's kind of been back and forth, but definitely Havana is feeling more of it right now just because they have not been able to get into the end zone. Macomb, on the other hand, these penalties, it feels like it really hasn't phased them too much, especially on the offensive side with the multiple false starts that they've had. They've been able to get those yards right back.
Yeah, well, yes and no. Obviously, we've had a punt, which, we hadn't happened. And, so I think that, and it's extended this drive right here where we've gone down the field where it looked like maybe we were going to get a stoppage. But, the penalties are never good. To your credit, yeah, they've really shot Havana, but Havana needed to have a near perfect game. So any penalty is going to be more of an issue. The quarterback's being chased down. He tries to come back to the middle of the field.
Throw it short. It's
gets rid of it.
They got to get to the end zone, but just going to fall down at the 10. So a turnover there. And the Bombers with the red zone stop.
Brought down by Daniel Taylor.
So it'll be Bombers possession with 5:56 to go. We're going to take a short break. We're back with you here in just a moment.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital.
1st and 10 for Macomb from the 10-yard line. So their worst field position of the night, obviously here, but trying to make that up quickly. Deep pass, complete for the first down. Breaks up tackle there, down at about the 48. It's a gain of 38 and a first down for the Bombers. That reception coming from McMillan.
Kylan McMillan, gets down just about the midfield, about 2 yards short. Long ball, had to hold up for it just a little bit, but does a little toe tap on the sideline, stays in bounds, and just about breaks free into open yardage, but he's wrestled down.
5.5 left in this first half. Holthouse rolls out to the left. Fires.
Beautiful back shoulder throw.
Complete.
So now again, he rolls out to the left, which we talked about, but instead of completely turning his body, he just flares the hip and throws, and what helps it is he throws that back shoulder throw. Instead of trying to lead the receiver downfield, he throws it behind the cornerback, leads to the sideline, which helps the angle of the throw, helps his body positioning, and it's just very masterfully done and moves the chains.
The Bombers, 2 plays from their own 10, now are ready at the Ducks 33. Will be handed off down to about the 20.
Well, I got to tell you, as the Bombers have this ball back and they're moving down the field in chunks, I can tell you there's one person in our listening audience right now that's really loving this, and that's such a veteran, long-time fan of the Bombers. That's Arnie James Dakin, has been a Bomber fan, listen to this, Caden, for the entirety of his 4.5 months on this planet.
And into the end zone for the touchdown. The Bombers running their way to 6.
Is that Malachi Conley breaking free? We got such a tough angle here. Looks like a Malachi.
I want to say Conley, yeah.
Yeah, Malachi Conley breaks open into the end zone, and I think that he did that. He scored that one for Arnie James Dakin, the 4.5-month-old Bomber fan that's cheering hard for the orange and black tonight. Love you, little buddy.
Snap, hold, kick is good. So, we've got just over 5 minutes to go. The Bombers 28, the Ducks nothing. We'll take a quick timeout. We're back with you here in just a moment.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH. You know, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
Bombers ahead 28-0 over the Ducks. It's Tony Weston. I'm Caden Strenz. Just over 5 minutes to go in this half. One of our viewers tonight commenting, if the Bombers win, they will dye their hair pink, and we were talking about it during our brief break there. Better get to Walmart.
Yeah, I didn't see the name on it, but that sounds like somebody that was looking to dye their hair pink.
Yeah. The Bombers will kick things off.
Somebody was looking for a little change in lifestyle there, or change in appearance and fashion choice. So this is a good excuse, I think.
They'll kick it off, returning it from about the 15.
Wait, was that Al Worley? Al Worley, are you going to be changing? Uh-oh, this is a big return.
Let's see if there's any flags on the field here. Doesn't look
No.
like it. Past the 50 and a solid return.
Yeah, and they get into Bomber territory.
So first and 10. Looks like from the Bomber 48. Katz was able to knock him out. Decent return from the Ducks. We've seen a pair from the special teams tonight. We'll say a 34-yard return. So first and 10 for Havana. 5:11 to go in this half.
Bring pressure.
Toss
Stretch,
to the right.
stretch.
Nice spin move there.
Yeah, he does a nice job of leaking through and picking up
Looks like
three, yeah.
Very tough 3 yards there, but able to make it happen. 2nd and 7 from the 45.
Bombers were doing a nice job of spilling that. And what we mean by that is they're staying horizontal. They're stalemating their blocker, and they're pushing that from the interior out to the sideline. But what happens is he does that quick spin move, and we didn't have that inside leverage to go ahead and stop it where it was, but only picked up a few. And this time they had a little reverse action lined up, but he's actually lucky to get that ball back to about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 from the 45-yard line. So the Ducks will regroup. Good field positioning, only 3 yards so far. This third play coming up. Four minutes to go. And this third down snap coming up. Olsen, quick pressure, throws towards the outside.
Oh, wow.
It's complete down to the 41.
Nice throw, nice catch.
And they'll give that to Oatman. Olsen,
So now-
Oatman, that's been a very busy connection tonight.
Yeah, and to your point, again, they go from behind the sticks to a manageable 4th and 3.
Yeah, from the 41, the Bomber territory here. So they'll try and come up with a play.
And, of course, this is watch the ball territory, especially the way things have gone tonight.
Havana has already used a pair of timeouts so far, so they're down to 1 on this 4th and 3 from the 41. It's an empty pocket for Olsen. And did Havana decide to use their last timeout?
Yeah, they
I think they did. Yes,
I think they
did.
were trying to use motion and pre-snap shifts to elicit movement, and it didn't work, so now they're going to go ahead and talk it over.
While we'll do that, we'll take a quick break. We're back with you here in just a moment.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
Back with you here. 4th down coming up for Havana. Big play for the Ducks. Already chasing 28 in this first half, but they've still played some good competitive football in these last few drives. I've noticed with the good field positioning, able to get down the field, but not able to get those big plays that Macomb has been accelerating with tonight. So Havana comes out on the field for this 4th and 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are some football players over there on the Havana side in the white jerseys tonight. But you know, you face a Macomb team that's got the size, and you know, I was looking out when Macomb was at about midfield, and I'm looking across the line, and I'm seeing Kyler Norton, Jack Beal, and Drew Watson on the trips, and then Kylan McMillan on the solo one-on-one. That's a lot of firepower.
Yeah. Olsen is going to go down at the 49, and the Bombers turn it over, or the Bombers force the turnover on downs with 3:02 to go in this half.
Not only did they force the turnover, they swarmed the cornerback. They brought all the pressure. They brought the house on that play, and they go ahead and they move that back to almost midfield. So, you know, they're about a yard off of Duck territory as they have this ball with 3 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, at about the 49, I want to say. Yes, 49-yard line.
Now the Bombers go empty. They've got ace formation with a wing.
Holdhouse towards the outside on the right side, complete. And a little bit of a rough tackle there, at least the crowd thought so. Watson with the catch down at the 41.
Yeah, that looked like a little bit of a mat return, but it's right there on the edge. It looked like Drew Watson had the sideline if he wanted to get out, but he took a step back towards the field of play, so the defender has to get him to the ground. I think that's okay.
Yeah. 2nd and 1 here for Macomb. Down to 2:55. Handoff. And stuff behind the line. So a 3rd down coming up. So Ducks able to stuff that up the middle.
So you got 3rd and short.
That was Petty with the handoff, I want to say.
Yeah, Jerron Petty, absolutely. Jerron Petty stays out there. I'd look to see a little bit of action right now, but end up putting the ball in Braden Holdhouse's hands to pick this up.
3rd and 3. 3rd and 2, excuse me. Holdhouse quick pass, complete for the 1st down. And out of bounds at around the 30.
And again, that's just quick little hitch. That's just designed to pick up the sticks, and ended up picking up a few more than that before Kylan McMillan steps out, stops that clock, and here we go again.
1st and 10 from the 28 now. 2:07 on the clock here in this 1st half. Bombers looking to pick up that 5th touchdown of the half. Holdhouse looking to do it here. It
just
is
beyond
incomplete.
the grasp.
Was intended for McMillan, who was able to get separation there, but incomplete. 2nd down.
Just off the fingertips beyond him just a little bit.
So 2:02 in this 1st half. Havana Ducks 2-6. Macomb Bombers 6-2. Will be a handoff up the middle, down at about the 21. As that's Petty with the carry, and it looks to be a 3rd and short.
Yeah, that's such a smart play call, because you've had an incomplete pass, but even your completions were at the sideline where your receivers are able to get out. So we've only used a minute off the clock, although it seems like we've been out here for a while. Yeah. So go ahead and use your playbook. Run a couple of times, and so now a pass into the middle of the field.
Yeah, now moving towards the outside, down to the 14. Kind of look like.
And that stops the clock because it's a 1st down.
Yeah. Kind of looked like a zig there. He was zigging towards the left. So 1st down for Macomb. Havana is out of timeouts. I want to say Macomb has 2 left.
Yeah, I think so. Yep, leaning out there. There's still 2 in Tanner's pocket.
Havana with none. Handoff. And brought down just prior to the 10-yard line. He'll mark him down to 12.
Havana's done a nice job of stopping that inside run, the runs in between the tackles.
Under a minute to go in this half. 2nd down and 7. Holthouse.
That's a nice defensive play by 10. What do we got here?
Oatman.
Landon Oatman, yeah.
Oh.
He's had his name called a lot tonight. He does a nice job there batting that ball away. Stops the clock. But I mentioned earlier, Havana's done a nice job on that run in between the tackles. But we talked about this, Caden, last week a little bit. You stay with it. You have to continue to run that ball between the tackles and establish that run. And it's going to pay dividends as the football game goes on.
Holthouse rolls out right. It's got some defenders on him. Throws.
Touchdown.
And it'll be caught for the touchdown.
Kylan McMillan.
I believe that's a multi-touchdown game for him as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Late in this first half, we've got Watson for a pair, we've got McMillan for a pair, and the Bombers go ahead 34-0 with 44 seconds left.
Time for another performance of Cats?
Possibly so. Had the extra point unit come on out here for this try.
How about Hayden making that stop on the sideline earlier, throwing his shoulder in, getting a guy out of bounds? Standing ovation for Cats. Another brilliant performance, bravissimo.
As the Bombers will head off the field, their kickoff unit will come out here. After this brief break, it's Bombers 35, Ducks nothing.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Final moments of this first half. We've got 44 seconds to go. The Bombers are ahead 35-0 over the Ducks. Ducks will get the ball here with no timeouts. See what they can do in these final moments. Bombers will receive the second half kickoff as they kicked away here in this first half. Oh, able to pick it up though. Wow. But still on his feet. He's going to go past the 50, still on his feet. Still on his feet.
No,
they're going to say he's out of bounds.
Blown dead.
Yeah, they'll say he's out.
That time Hayden Katz threw his shoulder, and who was that? That was 25 again, Foster.
Yeah.
Able to get through him and stay down the sidelines, but ends up getting busted out at about the 35.
Yeah, what started out to be kind of a dangerous play at the beginning there. Turns into a 34-yard return and a first down for the Ducks from the Bombers' 35. We've got 34 seconds to go. That took off about 10 seconds of the clock. And once again, the Ducks with no timeouts. So they got to go quick here if they want to get on the board late in this first half. They're able to get on the board here in this first half.
Hey, so the fan that said they were going to dye their hair pink if the Bombers hold on to the win. Yeah. Oh, here comes the pressure, and he's brought to the ground.
To the 47.
By Drake May. Big play, May. Gets the huge quarterback sack, a 10-yard sack. But that fan that's going to dye their hair pink, was that Al Worley? That had to have been Al Worley. Don't even look at there because I'm telling you it was Al Worley.
Al Worley.
Al Worley out on the Notre Dame deck right now listening to Bomber Radio is getting a bottle of pink hair dye ready to go. Aren't you, Al? Oh my goodness.
Almost
wow, that
off.
Almost got onto Sports Center. Kylan McMillan just gets up in the air. He taps it with his left hand, taps it with his right hand, and goes to pull it in and just can't hang on. That was almost the play of the year.
Oh, no time left here in this first half. That would have been a crazy, crazy play. But I think the Bombers will settle for what they have right now. 35-0 lead. So we're going to take some breaks, and we'll be back with you here in the second half, and we'll give you some updates around the TSSR Game Time Live area when we come back in just a few minutes.
All right, well, we're here with Bill Murdoch, and this is the second year in a row, Bill, that I've talked to you.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably unfortunately for you. I think you might have been the most talked about interview of all of our MDH interviews last year, though.
I don't know whether I need to be proud of that or ashamed of that. I don't know which one to go with.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Probably.
The thing that I find comical is I gave you a hard time last year. As I said, because, man, you're way up the ladder. You know, you're a high-end employee for me to be talking to, and you're even higher up the road now than you were last year.
Yeah. Yes. Last year when we spoke, I was the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, and since then I've been in the CEO role, Chief Executive Officer here at the hospital for about 8 months now.
Well, not to toot your horn, but everything I hear is good coming out of MDH since you've taken over. So, what was your mindset when you stepped into that role, and what do you see MDH doing here?
Well, I've never had aspirations to be a CEO of a hospital, but we have a great team here, and I just felt it was that time in my career to step in and take over and see how it goes. We have a great team here at MDH, very proud of everybody. They're very passionate and have a lot of pride in the organization. So it just made that job so much easier for me to step into my new role.
Yeah, it's easy to work with people who want to do a good job, isn't it? And it seems like everybody I talk to here is that kind of person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody's engaged, and they want to do well, and they want to succeed. And we want them to succeed here at the organization.
I think MDH has always had a pretty good name in the area. What are you trying to do for MDH to even step that up a little bit more?
Right. So Pat Osterman and myself, we've done a lot of community relationship building, reaching out to the community leaders, reaching out to our competitors to see how we can work together better, be a stronger organization overall.
Yeah, strong organization, and you guys continue to add pieces and parts. You've expanded to Monmouth. We talked a little bit about that with your urgent care and physical therapy. The pharmacy is looking really nice right now.
Right, and it's ready to come online. The construction's finishing up this week, and then next step is to get the certifications, inspections going. So we should be open for business later at the end of this year or first part of January.
So we mentioned last year you're relatively local to the McDonough County area. So you're one of the first CEOs that I remember that's local to McDonough. You have like a foothold in the area. Does that make this job, not that being CEO of any company doesn't have meaning, but does it mean a little more for you because you are from here?
It does, and it helps. I think it builds trust because they know I'm local. I'll have that connection with the community. Yes, my mother owns farmland south of town. My father-in-law owns farmland here. My wife's a bomber. She's a leatherneck. I'm a leatherneck. We got kids that are leathernecks too. So I feel like we have a lot of fabric in the community to take this organization to the next level.
Well, we're going to keep the interview shorter, but I cannot get done with this interview without asking if you got any deer last year.
I did. Actually, yes, I did. And as we talked last year, too, I participate Hunters for the Hungry, where we donate our harvest, and I did that last year. So, yes, I was successful.
So you spend a lot of time at MDH and helping people, and then you're helping people when you're at home, too.
Try to. That's a little different. You know, you're by yourself, and sometimes that's good to decompress and do all that. But, yeah, no, it works out well.
So what's been the biggest surprise? You never had any ideas of wanting to be CEO. What's been the biggest surprise so far since you've taken a job?
Oh, I think just the loyalty our staff has for the organization. They want it to do well. And I think with that support has made this job so much better for me.
Well, Bill, I appreciate you talking to me. It's always fun getting to talk to you, so hopefully we'll do it again next year, and we'll have new big things to talk about from MDH.
Let's plan on it, and thank you for your time and having me on again this year after last year.
Hey, not a problem. Like I said, you were the biggest fan I think supported video of all of them. So we'll see if you can continue that. Maybe I should give an award.
You think?
I think we should come up with an award.
Okay, you work on that.
Okay,
and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, I'll do that. We'll be back with the second half in just a few minutes.
And welcome back to this Game Time TSSR presentation presented by MDH as we watch the marching band, I want to say. Is that what it's? The marching band here on the field for this halftime. It's always amazing seeing what the marching band presents everyone, and especially, it doesn't matter where it's at, you're going to see tons of talent anywhere you go. Doesn't matter what level, doesn't matter where. You're going to see some very impressive performances. We saw that before the game, and we're seeing this right now. We're going to give you some updates around the TSSR Game Time Live area, West Prairie versus Peoria Heights. Last weekend, last Friday, it was 30-28 for a final score. Right now, though, it is all West Prairie, as it's 44-0. That game is in the second quarter. West Central versus Ridgewood. I've got some ad blockers here, so just stand by 1 second until we get to see this one here. The Spartans are ahead. That is Ridgewood. That is ahead over West Central, 24-14. That game is in the third quarter. West Hancock versus Bureau Valley. That game is at halftime. And I believe it was 26-all. 26-all for West Hancock versus Bureau Valley. That game is at Bureau Valley, and our friend Dwayne Hulett is on the call for that one. Milledgeville versus forgive me if I'm wrong here. Hiawatha, I want to say. Milledgeville versus Hiawatha. It is 6-6. That game is in the first quarter, or first half, it looks like. And then tomorrow, Bushnell-Prairie City will travel to Amboy in the afternoon. South Fork will face St. Anne as well tomorrow afternoon. I know Dwayne will be going to the South Fork versus St. Anne game. Also around the area, Western Illinois Volleyball is playing versus University of Tennessee Martin. It will be a second match tomorrow, that taking place at 2 p.m. Locked in from Western Hall with 3-1 winner, Scott Holland. WIU Athletic Communications with the update. Appreciate that, Scott. I think Scott was reading my mind, because right as I was mentioning that, Scott Holland in the comments letting us know that the Leathernecks take down the Skyhawks in 4 sets tonight. I saw that fourth set was getting close. 21-21, I want to say, when I last checked before a timeout was called. Tomorrow they'll play at 2 p.m., and you can catch yours truly. You know, I typically don't speak very highly of myself, but I will be directing that at 2 o'clock tomorrow. But there also is high school football, and who doesn't want to listen to Dwayne Hulett behind the microphone call some high school football in this final week of the regular season. There's some playoffs next Friday as well, and we'll see all the seedings tomorrow night. I believe that's what our friend Tony was telling us before the game. We'll see the official matchups late tomorrow night. If not tomorrow night, then by Sunday. And obviously, Macomb with the win here puts them at 7 in halftime here.
Patrick Osterman with us, and we talk about behind-the-scenes stuff all the time. The guy running the board right now, kind of crazy.
I don't know if you could get a much higher title running the board behind the scenes of an interview at McDonough District Hospital other than our president and chief executive officer, Bill Murdoch. But we appreciate Bill helping us out.
Yeah, he's game to help with everything. I'm guessing your job has to be a little more relaxed now. He seems to be like a pretty good guy to work with.
I tell you what, Bill has done a fantastic job. You knew just how good of a person he was, having worked with him for the last 5 years prior as our chief financial officer. And when he was promoted to our chief executive officer, I was all excited about it. I think everybody in the organization was very excited about it. You talk about, do you need to do a national search? And our board of directors, I give them all the credit in the world. They listen to the staff. They listen to the community members and said, you got somebody here who knows what they're doing, is a great person, does a great job. He knows the community. He's invested in the community, and it's been a great 2024 so far, and we've got a lot of bright future, a lot of great things that we're looking ahead towards.
Well, it's nice because MDH has been so embedded in the community, right? It is always nice to have somebody at the top and throughout the system that's also embedded in what the community has to offer and needs.
Absolutely. With my job, I do a lot of community relations. I get out, talk with businesses, talk with organizations. And one of the first conversations I had with Bill when he stepped into that new role, he said, Pat, I want to get out in the community. And we've been able to do that. We've gone out and met with our regional healthcare colleagues, CEOs, just talking about what can we do together? Is there anything we can do together? Rural healthcare is tough. There's a lot of challenges we face, but if we work together, maybe play to each other's strengths, I think we can both succeed. And that's the best way that we can help serve our community, help serve the patients that we are here to serve.
Well, and improving your brand is always a good thing, right? Whether it's a hospital or TSSR Game Time Live, improving your brand is a good thing. Getting out in the community helps that, but also expanding your options helps that as well, right?
Absolutely. One of the things you always look at is clinical partnerships. If we can't get a physician here, is there another healthcare organization that we can do what we call a clinical partnership with? Blessing Health is a great example out of Quincy. They bring cardiologists up here, a pulmonologist. We have a urologist that comes up here once a week. So our patients in McDonough County, they don't have to drive down to Quincy or maybe Springfield or maybe Peoria. If we can find those clinical partnerships where they can be seen here in Macomb, it's just a win-win for everybody.
Well, last year we talked about expanding to Monmouth with you. We talked about the pharmacy. As we talked to Bill, the pharmacy is expanding, and I shouldn't say expanding, it's coming to completion. You've done great things, I think, in Monmouth. What's down the road for MDH? Are you at a point that you can talk about anything that's coming?
I think we just got to keep looking on how we can continue to grow, and that's been one of our focal points. We do strategic planning on a quarterly basis. We want to look ahead, 2-3 years down the road, but as we said, there's a lot of dynamics going on in healthcare right now. So if you get too far ahead, you kind of lose sight what could be coming right around the corner. So that's why we try to keep it more of a short term, yet still look ahead to the long term. Like we said, our biggest challenge is how can we continue to grow? We've been here for over 65 years. What can we do as an organization, as a staff, as an administration team to make sure we're still around here for 65 years and beyond?
As public relations guy for the hospital, what do you want to use this opportunity to tell the people that might be watching about MDH in 2024 that's different maybe than what they expected or saw from 2023 or before?
Well, as you just talked about, our clinical expansions, as you said, Monmouth, our MDH Monmouth Clinic, convenience clinic, sports med and rehab. We got great staff up there, and I think that's a common theme. I know Bill talks about this a lot. I 100% on board with this too. I agree 100%. I would think you'd ask any of our staff members, they would say that we got a great team right now. We do a great job working together, and I think that's how we can play to our strengths to help grow. You talked about the community pharmacy. We're excited when that starts coming online and how we can best serve our community. A lot of convenience. I think one thing that we learned from COVID, people love convenience. We got our drive-through labs, and now you got our drive-through community pharmacy. A lot of good things going on. Stay tuned. It's an exciting time right now in our organization.
Well, have some fun at baseball this weekend, okay?
We're going to have some fun. A lot of fall baseball going on as we record this right before the start of high school football season. I know we're going to have a lot of great football games. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this year.
We'll be right back with the second half right after this. All right, well, we're here with Bill Murdoch, and this is the second year in a row, Bill, that I've talked to you.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably unfortunately for you. I think you might have been the most talked about interview of all of our MDH interviews last year, though.
I don't know whether I need to be proud of that or ashamed of that. I don't know which one to go with.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Probably.
The thing that I find comical is I gave you a hard time last year, as I said, because, man, you're way up the ladder. You're a high-end employee for me to be talking to, and you're even higher up the road now than you were last year.
Yeah. Yes. Last year when we spoke, I was the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, and since then I've been in the CEO role, Chief Executive Officer here at the hospital for about 8 months now.
Well, not to toot your horn, but everything I hear is good coming out of MDH since you've taken over. So what was your mindset when you stepped into that role, and what do you see MDH doing here this year?
I've never had aspirations to be a CEO of a hospital, but we have a great team here, and I just felt it was that time in my career to step in and take over and and see how it goes. We have a great team here at MDH. Very proud of everybody. They're very passionate and have a lot of pride in the organization. So it just made that job so much easier for me to step into my new role.
Yeah, it's easy to work with people who want to do a good job, isn't it? And it seems like everybody I talk to here is that kind of person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody's engaged, and they want to do well, and they want to succeed. And we want them to succeed here at the organization.
I think MDH has always had a pretty good name in the area. What are you trying to do for MDH to even step that up a little bit more?
Right. So Pat Osterman and myself, we've done a lot of community relationship building, reaching out to the community leaders, reaching out to our competitors to see how we can work together better to be a stronger organization overall.
Yeah, strong organization, and you guys continue to add pieces and parts. You've expanded to Monmouth. We talked a little bit about that with your urgent care and physical therapy. The pharmacy is looking really nice right now.
Right, and it's ready to come online. The construction's finishing up this week, and then next step is to get the certifications, inspections going. So we should be open for business later at the end of this year or first part of January.
So we mentioned last year you're relatively local to the McDonough County area. So you're one of the first CEOs that I remember that's local to McDonough. You have like a foothold in the area. Does that make this job, not that being CEO of any company doesn't have meaning, but does it mean a little more for you because you are from here?
It does, and it helps. I think it builds trust because they know I'm local. I'll have that connection with the community. Yes, my mother owns farmland south of town. My father-in-law owns farmland here. My wife's a bomber. She's a leatherneck. I'm a leatherneck. We got kids.
Second half about to begin here as the Bombers are ahead 35-0 over the Ducks. It was all Bombers in that first half. Change our quarter for you here. Now in the third. So Bombers 35, Ducks nothing. He's Tony Weston. I'm Caden Strens. Tony, thank you so much for giving me hot chocolate. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. That was a little miscommunication here with my boss and ended up with some extra hot chocolate up here. But so with 35 points in the pocket, Macomb will actually receive the football kicked off to start the game. So obviously 5 times they've put it into the end zone, 1 time punted, and they go ahead and put this in the end zone now. That puts this game on a running clock and gets us moving towards the final buzzer.
So as you said, the Bombers will receive.
But what you really want to see, and we talked about this, Caden, is the Bombers raced out to a 21-0 lead. Went pretty much perfectly. From that point on, there was some sloppiness. There were penalties. There were missed tackles. There were just some things that needed tightened up. And it wasn't, out of position freshmen. This was juniors and seniors that were making mistakes, and you saw some frustration being expressed by Coach Tanner Horrell.
Yeah, we'll return it from inside the 30 down to about the 38. I'm glad you mentioned that. Obviously, though, with the penalties after cruising that 21-0 lead, those are things that you look to avoid.
Yeah.
Come next week. Those are the main takeaways that it sure feels like the Macomb Bomber coaching staff.
So right now,
away from here.
You've got some of the junior high coaches and JV coaches. The backup quarterback Caden Nupp fielded that punt and ran into some traffic there, and they were talking about A, how to protect the football, and B, hey kid, you're quarterback of the future. Get on the ground.
It's a very good point. Trying to avoid that injury here. We got a flag down at the end of this play.
Face mask on the defense.
Yeah, so that'll move them up some more. That'll move Macomb up some more, that is. We'll just see how much from where he was down. Looks like he was down at the 38. They'll move him up to the 43. So it looks like a second down. Or is that a first down still?
Still first down, but just 5-yarder.
So yeah, they'll say 1st and 5 from the 43. And I believe we might be moving back
False
here.
start. Yeah,
so
we'll give
we
those
went.
5 right back.
Yeah. Back and forth we go. They'll now be back at the 43.
Yeah, and that's, coming right out of the locker room, and you can just see the frustration on Tanner Horrell's face. Not exactly what you wanted to see.
So check that back at the 38. But, yeah, definitely you have that halftime. You talk about reducing those penalties, and
here you are.
You have one here right out the gates.
But I like what Tanner Horrell's doing right now. He's not throwing headsets. He's coaching through it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You've had halftime. You've addressed it. It happens again.
As there's a big
look
catch
at
over
this.
the middle. Running back towards the middle. All the way to the house for 6. Touchdown, Macomb.
Drew Watson. That ball goes downfield. Probably about a 30-yard pass, but Drew Watson gets it in his hands, and he weaves through traffic back and forth, just makes guys change their angles, change their feet, and gets his way into the end zone, and now we are on the running clock.
41-0 Macomb with 11:08 left in
And
the third quarter.
You know what we have now? We have another performance of Cats.
Performance of Cats, that's right. Comes the extra point. Snap, hold, kick. Through the middle.
Standing ovation in the house.
There you go. All Macomb. There's that standing O. 42-0, 11:08 left. Back after this brief timeout.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
Back with you here, the Bombers. 42 Ducks nothing early on in the second half. 11:08 to go, and as you said, running clock. Here we go. The Bombers will kick things off early here in this third.
Yeah, first drive into the third really wasn't any whole lot of time wasted, and the Bombers get down the field, get the clock running, and I think that was by design, quite frankly. It was, let's get the football, let's take a strike down the field. Nice tackle there on the kickoff coverage, get inside the 30.
Down at about the 27. Looked like an 18-yard return. They returned it from just inside the 10. Kick was rolling.
But let's go out there. Let's get that clock going. I would be interested to see, maybe not. I mean, you have an entire half of football. I think that they want to let that clock run a little bit and, get a little closer towards the final gun and queuing up the band. But eventually you're going to start seeing some younger guys get sprinkled in here.
1st and 10 for Havana. See a handoff towards the outside. Has got a nice gain. Nice tackle, though. Even better tackle on that play to prevent that big run from Caden Green.
That's Kylan McMillan dragging him down. Looked like there was a lot of people that bought into the middle, and that play goes off tackle to the outside, so Kylan McMillan has to chase it down after a gain of about 6.
2nd and 4. Do another handoff. Not much there, if any. The Macomb Bomber defense able to stuff it up.
Yeah, that was straight into the middle, straight into the heart, and straight into Big Alex Brown, Talon Quisenberry. Looks like Hector Mamie's out there, so middle of that Bomber defensive line just stood tall.
I'm looking at this roster right now for Havana. How do you communicate between Caden and Caden? You got Caden behind center. You got Caden right next to your left. I mean, it's all sorts of Cadens on the field. You got Caden in the booth. They'll hand it off to the outside here. And
Picking
it
up the
looks
first
like
down,
enough,
moving the chains.
Down to about the 41. So the Ducks will move those chains. It's a first down.
Oh, I went to go check the time. The scoreboard is out.
back to 9:20. Clock is running here. 1st and 10 for Havana. And we'll see a handoff here down towards the 45. Looks like the 44. 2nd down. The clock is running. 2nd and 7 here from the 44. See if the Ducks want to utilize the air here.
Under center here, it looks like we have. I don't want to project. I don't want to make assumptions, but just judging by the formations I'm seeing, the play calling I'm seeing, that the Ducks have made a decision. We're on a running clock.
Yeah.
Let's run our offense and let's make sure both teams leave the field tonight as healthy as possible. And Havana is going to continue to grow their program. Made strides this year. They've got some athletes over there.
Yeah.
We've seen that. They have a ton of talent coming back. So they want to get some experience and get off the field and in good shape.
That pass from Olson was complete. That's Anthony Foster with the catch. We saw Oatman with 4 receptions in the first half for 25 of the 37 passing yards from Olson.
Now, of course, when you're losing Oatman, that connection, that Oatman-Olson connection, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough to absorb. But, they've got some, and also losing Foster. But, so they're losing some big weapons, but they've got a lot of guys coming back that are going to pay dividends.
Stoppage of play here. And it looks like offsides, I'm hearing. Yeah, offsides will go against the Bombers. Didn't see much here, but yeah, we'll move them past the 50 towards the 48. So 1st and 5 or no?
1st and 10, yeah, moves the chains.
Yeah, that does move the chains. So 1st and 10, the Bombers 48. Shotgun snap for Olson. Looks to throw. Pass is complete. Breaks a tackle. He's towards the outside and brought down towards the 35. 25, excuse me. So a nice play there from Olson. That went to Green.
Yeah, and you can see that the numbers are starting to change for the orange jerseys.
Yeah. So 1st and 10. Looks like the 27. Got 2 backers in the backfield. Turns into a play action. Fires. And
nice job.
Incomplete.
Nice job.
Defense there, as you said. Looks like 21, I want to say, had that breakup.
Yeah, that's Cassidy Harrison. And what Cassidy does there, he's behind the receiver, which makes this play really tough because you can't turn a hip, you can't turn a shoulder, but he comes through as the ball hits the hands, not before, and breaks up that play at the hands. Just perfect.
As we said, Harrison right there. 2nd down. Got 5:20 left in this 3rd quarter. It's going to be a keeper from Olson, trying to get some room on the outside, brought down at the 23. 3rd down coming up.
So I think that one right there, that wasn't the counter that we saw earlier. That was more of a lead, an outside lead, but in order to get into it, they give that sort of fake pitch motion, and then he just follows the running back who becomes his lead blocker.
3rd and 6 from the 23. Olson looking for a play here. Over the middle, complete. Looks to move the chains. He does. Past the 15 and down at about the 13. It's a 1st down for Havana.
So typically throughout the football game, the clock would have stopped there due to the first down, but that clock continues to run.
Running clock is new for me. This is my first game with running clock this season, and it comes on the last game of the season. Now, I'm thinking that there was a penalty here against Havana because they're moving back. So maybe not a first down after all. And my guess is it was probably holding. Totally missed that there. But,
false start. So
Yeah.
what? So this is the second time we've seen this year. False start penalty, but the play continues.
Yeah.
That whistle has to come out.
Yeah.
That has to stop play.
Yeah.
And I say this because while it didn't come into play here, in the Macomb-Farmington game, and it actually benefited Macomb, Farmington reels off a long run play. Farmington reels off a long run play, and at the end of it, fumbles. Macomb recovers. There's flag on the field. The flag is false start. That play should have never been allowed to continue.
Wow. Yeah, it's strange because, like, you see that and the play's still going on. You're always set. It always happens. False start, the play goes dead.
Immediately.
And you see that and it's like, the play just happened. We did a live play. But that does tend to happen not very often, as you said, once earlier in the season for Macomb. Just the second time tonight. Olsen fires. Incomplete. Broken up. The one-on-one coverage. Trying to see who broke that up.
Sets turnover on downs. Going to be going the other way. The Bombers will get the ball with under 2.5 minutes to go in the third down.
Might have been Norton who broke that up.
I think the majority of the starters for the Bombers are on the sideline, but they are invested in this game. They want to keep that donut on the scoreboard. Maybe hit up Coach Ladd or Coach Wilson for some donuts at the film session.
Can't go wrong with any donuts here. We're at the 2-minute mark here in this third quarter. We'll hand it off and down at the 26, second down.
Now that's Jeshua McPeters in there, but we got to be really careful. We got to preserve that young man. He's got a wrestling season coming up. Let's be careful here.
There you go. Wrestling is right around the corner. Doesn't the practices start, I believe, the Monday after daylight savings?
So it's going to be the second Monday in November. So what happens with the IHSA clock is every 6 years it slides back in order so that it doesn't just continue to creep forward.
Earlier and earlier.
Yeah. So it slides back every 6 years, and this is that year. So
November 11th. That would be, I think. They'll hand it off here down towards the 30. Wrestling season, it's very exciting. I mean, obviously,
that was a keeper. That was a read, and the quarterback, Little Lambert, pulled that one and ends up picking up about 4.
Yeah, looks like the 32. 3rd and 6 for Macomb. We've got scoreboard out. That's what we have right now. So not exactly sure how much time is left. But we're late in this third quarter. Now it's back up. We got 50 seconds here in this third quarter for a 3rd and 6. Looks to be the final play of this quarter. Shotgun formation for Macomb. We've got 3 receivers on the right side. And he's going to go to the right. It's complete. Looks to move the chains, and they will. Down at the 42. It's a first down for Macomb.
So now there's going to be people that look at this and say, you're on a running clock, you're up 40, what are you doing throwing the ball?
Yeah.
Well, Macomb wants to continue to run that clock. They want to get to the end of the game. They also have almost their entire JV lineup on the field. Yeah. And you know what? They're getting some real-time experience for a quarterback, for a wide receiver. They're not throwing the ball downfield. They threw a little stop route. They picked up a first down. I think that's okay.
Yeah. So that'll conclude this third quarter. It's Bombers 42, Ducks nothing. We'll take a quick break. We're back in just a few moments.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Fourth quarter is about to begin here as the Bombers cruising with ease here, 42-0 with this running clock. We've got the final 12 minutes of this regular season before it's on to the IHSA playoffs for the Macomb Bombers.
Yeah, at this point right now, starting to think, the IHSA selection show comes on tomorrow night. Starting to wonder, where will the Bombers be? Will they be here right in front of us? Will we be on the road again? Who's that opponent going to be? What's the scheme? What's the style? All those things. Also thinking about Western Illinois University hitting the road tomorrow after, they're 3 wins into this season, and after, 27 in a row the other way. It's really exciting to see Western vibrant again and putting points up, and it's just been a lot of fun. Coach Davis has done a great job coming here, and a lot of fun.
I got to tell you, interviewing him as a sideline reporter for all home games, it's a lot more fun doing it when they're winning. I've noticed, because when they played the Skyhawks, UT Martin, and lost by 28, that was tough at the end of the game because it's like, what do you say that is enjoyable about it? But Tennessee Tech last week, and that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed both those interviews at half and the end of the game.
Yeah, he's a pretty intense guy, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he is. I saw a couple penalties last week. He really got into it. But that's just he's an emotional guy.
Competitive, yeah.
That's the word I was trying to say. But he's very competitive. That team is a lot more competitive than obviously in recent years. With a new conference as well. Their first season there. We'll see a pass towards the outside.
Punt team coming out. Yeah, he quarterback puts it on the hands of the receiver, just unable to make the connection. That's, these are young guys that are out there on Friday night in front of the big crowd, and different feel for these guys.
So it's 4th and 8 from the 44. Reached the 10-minute mark here in this fourth quarter. As we'll wait for this punt. See if we've got some score updates for you around the TSSR Game Time Live area. I know that West Hancock was all knotted up with Bureau Valley, which surprised me a little bit.
That's a nice punt.
This punt, it's going to take a Bomber bounce inside the 20 towards the 15. We'll see exactly where they put them. I think the 15 or the 13 here.
So the Bomber return man felt that ball may have been touched, so he went after it as though that was a loose ball, and it looked like he wanted to go for a scoop and score, but ended up falling on it. But apparently that ball was able to get through the wickets and land safely, and that'll be duck football.
Yeah, and the official spot looks like the 15.
Yeah,
so
right
first
at the 15.
and 10 from their own 15.
Scoreboard is out again.
Oh, it's been going in and out this half. That can happen. See them hand it off here. Down to the 26.
Yeah, and again, these are not play calls that are designed to make up 6 touchdowns.
Yeah. Eight and a half to go, as that was a gain of 11 on the ground to move those chains. 1st and 10 from the 26. See another handoff, this one towards the left side. Down at about the 30. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Jester McFeeder's getting in there on that tackle. And you know what? That's a nice play. Nice little stretch. They ended up giving up about 5 yards, but you know what? They didn't lose contain, stayed in front of it, and, you got a varsity running back coming downhill against some freshmen and sophomores, but they're able to bring them down. They're getting themselves on film right now, and getting in front of the coaches, getting eyes on them, and really just getting data. Oh boy, where's that
Pressure,
hip? Where's that hip?
Olsen.
Where's that leverage?
Rose. Incomplete.
Okay, so there's a couple things here. Couple things that is going to be, as we just mentioned, it's now on film. Coaches have eyes on it. Just tiny little correction points. Pressure comes in from the backside, from the quarterback's arm side, actually. And it comes out so that the quarterback is able to step out of it and buy himself some time.
Yeah.
That gives him an opportunity to throw the football. And what did we talk earlier tonight about Kyler Norton earlier in the season? So these younger guys are in great position and then turn and look back to the play, and that receiver floats behind him, and actually he's open, but unable to make the reception. So just a couple of tiny little points that are going to get corrected, and, these guys have this opportunity out here to get on film.
Olsen's pass will be incomplete, so 4th down. 4th and 5 from the 31. We're down to 6.5 minutes left here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, we are just over 6 minutes to go before we take the celebration as we close up the Bombers' regular season and anticipate Week 10. We take that up to Diggers College City Bowl and
there you go.
Get together and celebrate and fellowship and maybe give a couple of shooka head rubs to Eric Dakin there in the bowling alley. Old number 2 on that semifinal team for the Bombers.
Yeah. Are you a pro? Well, I shouldn't say professional bowler. But what's your single game high?
Actually, so I haven't bowled in years, ever since I
really?
took the head football position, actually. I quit bowling. It just didn't have time for it. And, as my daughters aged and coaching wrestling and doing this, I just haven't got back into it. I almost did it this year, but just couldn't quite pull the trigger. But, no, I'm terrible, actually, and which is unfortunate because obviously Digger's in my family and his kids are just phenomenal. And I've got some brothers that are pretty decent. But I did have – I'm trying to remember. I think it was a 268 game.
268?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's not anywhere near the average. That was 100% an anomaly. And I do this thing. So when I do something, if I can find a way to get better results right now, I take it.
Yeah.
So I hold the bowling ball with the 2 fingers, but where the thumb goes in, I take it out and lay it on the side. Yeah. And that allows me to wrap my hand further and create artificial spin.
Gotcha.
So it looks like I'm bowling like the big guys, but
yeah.
Digger has seen it. He tried to get me to go back to it, and after about a half a game, we were on the same team when we were in a league years ago. Yeah. He's like, "Go back to doing what you do," because I couldn't get the technique down. But so what Digger told me was that the way that I bowl, he's like, "You may have a game or two where it's great, but there's no way that you can be consistent with that because you can't control the release point." And I said, "I'm okay with that." As long as I'm able to be competitive, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a friend who bowls at the collegiate level, Judson University in Elmhurst, Illinois.
Nice.
And I went bowling with him a number of times. I never came close, but there was this one time where he, you know how someone's way better than you, they play to your competition, they try to get your hopes up, and then at the end they win. That's basically what happened. It was like he needed both strikes in that 10th for him to win. We got a fumble here, I think. Let's wait for the signal.
Bomber football.
Bomber football. So there's a fumble recovery.
So to your point, I'm a sophomore. No, I'm a freshman in high school. Ty Morgenthaler, one of the greatest basketball players in Macomb High School history, he's big-time upperclassman. And we have wrestling practice. They have basketball practice, but neither has started yet. So I go out there, and he's like, "Hey, Weston, let's play a little basketball. Make it, take it." So I went out, and he's not even guarding me. He's like laughing. And I hit 3 threes in a row. It's like, let's play to 10. Hit 3 threes in a row. And it's 9-0. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you could just see the look on his face change. And I did not get close to the rim. I did not get close to getting another shot off, and he was whoosh, 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 and 10-9, go back to wrestling practice, kid.
That's awesome. Oh, man. But, yeah, that 10th frame, back in those bowling, my senior year, day before graduation. It was part of our senior festivities that weekend. We just went bowling. Had a fun time. And final frame, he needs a pair of strikes to win, and he does it with these. Literally,
Sure.
close your eyes. He does it. He's so good at bowling. He has, I think he's had 5 perfect games, I want to say, in his young career.
You'd have to go look on the wall at Diggers College City Bowl, but the rivalry and the little friendly competition between father and sons, I don't know what it's up to now, but at one point it was around 30, where Digger had about 30 perfect games, but that was only at that house. Like, he only counts
no
them
kidding.
at that particular location.
Wow.
And then his son Eric was right neck and neck, and I think maybe even gotten ahead at one point. I don't know about that. I can't back that up. And then now Brody is in, and now Max Dakin, the youngest, has moved back from Florida, and he's in every league trying to get into that and catch up, and got to roll some 300s.
Can't go
Oh,
wrong with
nice.
bowling.
Big run there. Oh, that ball's on the ground.
Ooh.
Is it?
I think they called it dead.
Called him down, huh?
Yeah, they're calling him down. Yeah, down at the 43. We're down to the final minute of this one. The Bombers
Yeah,
are ahead
that's
42-0. And I have noticed with this running clock, obviously it goes by a lot faster.
That's that first down probably may get you to victory formation.
See here.
Maybe not.
Not yet. 45 seconds. This might just be the final play of the night.
Oh, yeah, he is. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. There you go. So, Bombers' regular season is going to come to a close with a 7-2
Looks
record.
like one more snap.
Yeah, looks like they will run it down. We've got 27 seconds.
Hey, they're offsides. Throw the flag.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
Run out on that field, Tony. Where's the flag? Oh, man. Yeah, it looks like we're going to wrap things up here. The Bombers finish this regular season off with a 7-2 record. Final score, Bombers 42, Ducks nothing. The real season starts next week.
It's tomorrow night. Starts tomorrow night with the announcement of the show, and see where you're at. See, what direction things take. Because tonight's a weird night.
Yeah.
Because there's some guys that are workaholics, both coaches and players, that they want to get done with a competition. They want to rest for a while, but then they want to go back. They want to watch their own film. They want to see what went right, see what went wrong, while it's fresh in their minds. But they also want to get a sneak peek and just get a little taste of what are the formations like, what's the scheme like. Not going to watch it in depth really, but get a look at it. And you don't even know tonight, and you won't know most of tomorrow. So it's a really weird time to be in high school football when you're just kind of sitting there waiting to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely a lot of emotions here over these next 36 hours or so before you figure out who you have in that first round, where it's at. And a lot of emotions there. We're going to take a short break. I believe we have Coach Horrell on the other side here in a few minutes. Once again, the final score, Bombers 42, Ducks nothing. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
All right, welcome to halftime.
Well, we're here with
Patrick
Bill Murdoch
Osterman with us, and
this is the second year in a row, Bill.
We talk about behind-the-scenes stuff all the time. The guy running the board right now, kind of crazy.
I don't know if you could get a much higher title running the board behind the scenes of an interview at McDonough District Hospital other than our president and chief executive officer, Bill Murdoch. But we appreciate Bill helping us out.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Probably.
He's game. The thing that I find comical is I gave you a hard time last year. I said, because, man, you're way up the ladder. You're a high-end employee for me to be talking to.
I tell you what, Bill has done a fantastic job.
You now than you were last year.
Just how good of a person he was, having worked with him for the last 5 years prior as our chief financial officer. And when he was promoted to our chief executive officer, I was all excited about it. I think everybody in the organization was very excited about it.
Toot your horn, but
you know, you
everything
talk
I
about
hear
you
is
need to do
good
a national
about
search.
MDH since
and
you've
our
taken
board of
over.
directors,
So
I give them all the
what
credit
was
in the
your
world. They
mindset when you
listen to
stepped
the
into
staff.
that
They
role, and
listen
what
to
do you
the
see
community
MDH doing
members.
here?
Well,
We've got somebody here.
I've never
knows what
had
they're doing,
aspirations to be a
is a great
CEO of
person,
a
does
hospital,
a great job,
but
knows the community,
we have
he's
a great
invested
team
in the
here,
community,
and I
it's,
just felt
it's been a great
it
2024
was
so
that
far.
time
And
in my career to
we've got a lot of bright,
step in and take over.
bright future, a lot of
and
great
see how it
things
goes.
that
We have
we're
a
looking
great
ahead
team
towards.
here at
Well,
MDH. Very
nice
proud of
because
everybody.
MDH
They're
is
very
so embedded
passionate
in the
and have a lot of
community,
pride in the
right?
organization.
It's always
So
nice
it
to
just
have
made
somebody
that
at the
job
top and
so much
throughout
easier
the
for me to
system
step into
that's
my new
also
role.
embedded in what the
Yeah,
community has
it's
to offer.
easy
to work with.
Absolutely. With my job,
Job
I do a
isn't it?
lot
It
of
seems like
community
everybody
relations.
I
I get
talk
out,
to
talk
here
with
is that kind
businesses,
of
talk with
person.
organizations.
Absolutely.
And one of the
Absolutely.
first
Everybody's
conversations I had with Bill when he
engaged
stepped into
and
that new
they
role,
want to do well and they want to
he said,
succeed.
Pat,
and we
I
want
wanna
them
get out in the
to
community.
succeed here.
And we've been able to do that.
I think
We've
MDH
gone
has
out and
had a
met with
pretty good
our
name
regional
in the area.
healthcare colleagues,
What are you trying to do
CEOs,
for MDH?
just
to
talking
step
about
that up a little bit
what
more?
can we
Right.
do together?
So Pat
Is there anything we
Osterman
can
and
do
myself,
together?
we've done
Rural
a lot of
healthcare is tough.
community
There's a lot of
relationship
challenges
building,
we face, but if
reaching
we
out
work
to
together,
community
maybe
leaders,
play to
reaching
each
out to
other's
our
strengths, I
competitors,
think we can
to
both
see how we
succeed.
can work
And
together
that's
better,
the best way that we
be a
can
stronger
help serve our community, help serve the patients that
Yeah,
we
strong
are
organization.
here
You
to
guys
serve.
continue
Well,
to
and
improving
add
your
pieces
brand
as
as
far
ours.
as a
You've
good
expanded,
thing, right?
whether
Expanded
it's
to
a
Monmouth,
hospital
we
or
talked a little bit
TSSR
about that
Game Time Live,
with
improving your
your
brand,
urgent
good
care
and
getting out
physical
to the community.
therapy. The
Helps
pharmacy
that,
is
but also
also
really
expanding
nice.
your options.
Right, and it's ready to come
Absolutely.
online.
One of the things you always look at is
Construction's
clinical
finishing up this
partnerships.
week,
If
and then
we can't
the
get a
next step
physician
is to
here,
get
is there
the
another healthcare
certifications,
organization
inspections
that
going.
we
So
can
we
do
should
what
be
we call a
open
clinical
for
partnership with?
business,
Blessing Health is a great example
later
out of Quincy.
at the end of this
we bring
year or first
cardiologists up
part
here, a
We
pulmonologist. We have
mentioned
a
last year
urologist that
you're
comes up here once a
relatively
week.
local to the
So our
McDonough
patients
County
in
area.
McDonough
So
County, they don't
you're
have
one
to
of the
drive
first
down to
CEOs
Quincy,
that I
or
remember
maybe Springfield or maybe Peoria. If we can find those
You
clinical
have like a
partnerships
foothold
where
in
they
the
can be
area.
seen here in
Does that make
Macomb,
this job,
it's
not
just
that
a
being
win-win
CEO
for
of any
everybody.
company doesn't, well,
last year
meaning, but does it mean a little more for you because you are from here?
It does, and it helps. I think it
Build
builds
pharmacy is
trust
expanding, and it's
because they know I'm
infections
local.
expanding. It's coming to
I'll have that
completion. You've done
connection.
great
with
things, I think,
community.
in Monmouth.
Yes,
What's-
my mother
down
owns
the road for
farmland
MDH?
south
You got a
of town. My
point that you can
father-in-law
talk
owns
about anything that's
farmland
coming?
here.
I think we just got to keep looking on how we can continue to grow, and that's been one of our focal points.
feel
We
like
do
we have a lot of
strategic
fabulous
planning on a quarterly basis. You know, we want to look
Well,
ahead,
this interview's
2-3 years down the road, but as we
I
said,
cannot
there's a
get
lot
through
of
an interview
dynamics going
without
on in
asking if you
healthcare
got
right
any
now.
beer last
So
I did.
if you get too
Actually,
far ahead,
yes, I did, and
you kind
as
of
we
lose
talked
sight
last year, too,
what could be
I,
coming right around the corner. So that's why we try to keep it more of a
Hunters for
short
the
term,
Hungry,
yet
where
still
we
look
donate
ahead to
our
the long term.
harvest, and I did that last
And
year.
like we
So,
said,
yes,
our
it
biggest
was
challenge is how can
successful.
we continue
So
to
you
grow?
spend a
We
lot
want
of
to be.
time at MDH,
We've been here
helping
for over
people, and then
65
you're helping
years.
people when
What
you're
can
home,
we
too.
do as an
Try
organization,
to.
as a staff,
That's
as
a
an
little
administration
different. You know,
team,
you're by
make sure we're
yourself,
still
and
around here for
sometimes that's
65
good
years
to
and beyond.
decompress and do
As
all that. But
public
yeah, no, it
relations
works
guy
out
for
well.
the hospital. So what's been the biggest surprise? You never had any ideas of wanting to be CEO. What's been the biggest surprise 2024 so far? Since different maybe than what
Oh,
you
I think
saw from
just
2023 or before.
just the
Well, as
loyalty
you just talked about, our clinical expansions, as you said, Monmouth, our MDH Monmouth Clinic, convenience clinic, sports med and rehab. We got great staff up.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was firstborn, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
Back with it here, Bombers 42, Ducks nothing. Coach Horrell will join us here in just a few moments. And we will...
Yeah, what a way to wrap up the season. I mean, obviously we had talked a little bit. There's some things that need cleaned up, but, you know, you put up 42 points on the board, you give up a donut, and your JV guys play longer than a quarter, and they're able to secure that, put it in the pocket, and bring it home. You can't ask too much more than that, but of course we do.
Yeah, right?
Of course we do. And we'll talk to Coach Horrell about exactly that here in a few minutes. But we just heard over the loudspeaker Braden Holthouse well over 300 yards passing. I'm not sure where it ended up, but I did hear Drew Watson 196 yards. And did he have three touchdowns?
Three touchdowns,
Yeah. And
all three of them in the first half, I want to say, as well.
yeah, well, yeah.
Definitely
they didn't do too much in the second half. But just an outstanding offensive performance. Offensive performance. And got a week to go, and week 10's coming. And, you know, like I said, the next 24 hours are going to be strange ones for the Bombers, but get some rest, recover a little bit, and get a good stretch. And then they'll get together tomorrow night, have a little viewing party, and find out where they're at. And at that point, the exchanges will be made. It's not like, you know, the old days where you had to drive, you know, meet halfway in some deserted parking lot and exchange video cassette tapes. You know, now it's just an email, a button click, and you have them. So they'll have those. They'll have the film within minutes after the selection's been made.
And while we wait for Horrell, while we have some time, I want to ask you, Tony, what was your favorite part of this entire regular season? You were here for all the games, I want to say. There are a lot of memories, I'm sure, a lot of great games, obviously.
You know what? To answer that question, to go ahead and answer that question, it's actually right down here. If you look at down the right side of the field, after every home game, we see Coach Horrell's kids and nephews out there playing ball and just having a lot of fun. And honestly, that's the favorite part for me.
Speaking of Coach Horrell,
in the house. All right, Coach. So you could not envision much of a better start. You come out, you get the 3-and-out, 2-play drive. You get the 3-and-out, nice sustained drive down the field, punch it in. You get another turnover on downs, get the ball back, 1-play drive. You're up 21-0. Things look great. And it's so difficult to talk about this when it's a 42-0 score, but all of a sudden, it's the most penalties we've seen, 11 penalties tonight. It just seemed like there was some miscommunication, just some things that didn't go our way. What are you seeing right there?
You know, I think it was hopefully a good thing. We got to go into halftime. I didn't say anything positive. So it was all that 6-minute stretch right there cost you a playoff game next week, and you go home. Those penalties, those false start on 4th and 1 or jumping off sides on 4th and 3, 15-yard penalty when you get a 2nd and 14. Those win and lose games. And when you're playing a really good team, that could send you home. So those are things we got to clean up. Overall, we played really good. That 6-minute stretch, though, that's all it takes to lose a game and go home next week.
Well, and we talked about it on air. I had really, as I was thinking about, you know, in your time between the field and up here, what am I going to talk to my friend Tanner about? I kind of want to ask, you know, what was that message at half? What was that post-game message? But you know what? I don't want to know, because what I said right before we went to half was, there is one place on this earth I don't want to be right now, and that's in that field house with Coach Horrell, Coach Wilson, and Coach Ladd. Yeah. I don't want to be there.
Yeah. It was, you know, we talked about 2 years ago when we had a 16-point lead and come out and a little flat, and that's all it takes to go home. So you got to keep the momentum on your side as much as possible, and we just can't shoot ourselves in the foot. That's what killed our drive, and that's what allowed their drive to keep going there. And it's 2 possessions, but that's all it takes.
And there were a lot of performances tonight that were just so good. Obviously, Brayton Holdhouse had a night for the ages. Drew Watson, unofficially 196 yards. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I thought he broke Langdon's record, and then I remembered Ian had 202 last year.
Actually, this week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, rather than talking about this game and all those individual performances, I want to know the next 24 hours have to be the strangest of your season, because generally, Caden and I were just talking about this. Coach Horrell, I happen to know, is a workaholic. So he'd go home, be with his family. They go to bed, and then he's going to take a little peek. He's going to take a little look, see what the forms are, see what the scheme is. Not in depth. And then tomorrow, throughout the day, he's going to sprinkle that back in. But you don't have that option now. You don't even know who it was.
You kind of have a solid idea. I think it's down to 3 or 4 teams, and kind of took a little peek this week.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But you never know. I don't know how games turned out this week. All it takes is one team winning or one team losing that they didn't expect, and that flips the whole bracket.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So you don't really know.
And I took a little peek too, and isn't it crazy that there's that one option on the table where how do you form a rivalry with a team 4 hours away?
Yeah, so we might as well put them on the schedule.
And of course, we're talking about Murfreesboro, who Macomb has played in each of their last trips into the postseason. But getting Murfreesboro to come up here again, third time's the charm. Go ahead and get through that one would be great poetic justice and a phenomenal cap to the season. Not cap, but start to the second season.
No, they're a great program though, and they've beaten us the last 2 years. So whoever it is, we're gonna have our work cut out for us. We're gonna have to be a lot sharper. We're gonna have to play our best game of the season, and it's 48 minutes, right? Whoever can win that 48 minutes.
Caden asked me right before you came on the air, what's my favorite moment of the season? And I talked about your kids and your nephews. But you know what? I will say this. Earlier in this game, I was really impressed with one moment where we just talked about what halftime must have been like. We don't need to talk about it more. That's family. That happened in there. But right out of halftime, flag on the play. And that's what you had talked about. That was the 5-yard trade-off. And whereas in the first half, you're a head coach. You're acting like a head coach. You're upset. You're agitated. In that moment, I could see on your face you weren't happy, but you know what? You coached right through it. You said, you know what? We've already talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to coach it out of you right now, so let's just go right through it.
Yeah, I don't even know what that one was. One of our kids thought it was we went before they blew the ball in, and one thought it was on one of our receivers. I didn't see much, but that would. Got a little upset in the first half. That's going to happen. I mean, we can't shoot ourselves in the foot on 4th and 1. We want to go for it. We want to be aggressive, but 4th and 1 and 4th and 6 are a lot different.
Well, hey, go down and be with your families, be with your guys, and pins and needles till tomorrow night. We'll see what's going on, and we'll look forward to talking to you again next week.
For sure. Thank you.
All right, man. Good to see you again.
There was Coach Horrell right there after the Bomber 42-0 win over the Ducks. And as you said, Tony, the second season
starts now.
Yes, sir.
Starts right now. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's I'm fired up. I can't wait, but at the same time, it's just so weird because you don't know what to be excited about for about 24 hours, but yeah, we don't know if we're home, away. We'll find out in the next 24 hours, and we'll go from there. But, really appreciated the last couple of weeks, and good to see you.
Yeah,
and
it was a lot of fun. I got to be honest, 2 weeks ago, I didn't even know who Tony was. It's like I always remember Tony. So much fun doing these 2 games with you, and really got me pumped up as well. Right.
Well, hey, fight on, Macomb, fight on, and on to Week 10.
There you go. Week 10 coming up next Friday, 1 week from tonight. For Tony Weston, I'm Caden Strunz. Saying goodnight from Macomb, 42-0 the score. This has been a TSSR Game Time Live presentation presented by MDH.